How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 3rd of April 2022. So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin today, then we'll jump over to Binance. But before I get into the analysis, as always, this is not financial advice. Please remember that. So if you remember, if you've been following the kind of general market overview that I was doing on Bitcoin and Binance, it was this kind of idea. I wanted to see Bitcoin above 46,000 holding, and then we have a kind of created range above those levels between sort of 46,000 and 52,000. And if we see that, then once that created range happens, or if it happens, then we've got something new to kind of work with. At the moment, with what we're seeing, we've had this nice steady move to the upside, pretty decent stabilization. Looking to the left, I can see that there was some liquidity here. The way in which price accelerated into that and kind of went straight through that just shows that that's not really what price is driving for, right? It's pulled back a little bit. It's since kind of gone back up. If we just quickly drop down to the 4-hour chart, you can see it's dropped, picked up a little bit of buy side, and then just kind of grinding back up again. So one of two things is going to happen here, because we're sitting inside a pretty large liquidity pool, right? So one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to reverse this pretty quickly. And what's interesting is when we get over to Binance, its chart has already done this, right? So we're still seeing a little bit of Binance, Binance dominance at the moment. But we need to see this reverse. So one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to pop. I'm going to get a little bit of movement to the upside. It's going to start to drive towards this 50,000 level, which is what I'm hoping is going to happen. I am seeing some pretty decent upside flows on Ethereum. I did call some levels 3619 and 3719, definitely levels you want to be keeping an eye on in terms of Ethereum. But I digress, go back to Bitcoin, or it will drop to take out this low and kind of eat into this area just over here between 43,000 and 44,000, right? But at the moment, as it stands on the daily chart, it is looking like it's stabilized, and it's looking pretty decent. So I'm expecting that kind of last portion into this upper level around about the sort of 50,195-ish, give or take. We'll just call it 50,200 level. So that's Bitcoin. If we continue to see this stability here, then it's going to continue to drag the rest of the market with it, and that stability with it as well. So we just go over to Binance, obviously, and I'll just quickly show you what I was talking about. So you can see we had the first initial drop here. I mean, that's a pretty aggressive drop, right? Picks up buy side, boom, just reverses immediately, takes out the high, and then we started to get that little bit of a pullback and stabilization. So as far as I'm concerned, on Binance, the 460 level, is almost guaranteed to get hit. And we're talking from an educational study standpoint, right? The way price is setting up, the way the pickup is, the way it's moving, for me, it's 460. 460 is on the cards, right? Now, what happens after that, that's a different story. And obviously, as always, we do the kind of reassess and so on. But from sort of 446, where we're currently at right now, to 460, it's not that much movement really. But I would suspect that that last portion into 460 should see a little bit of acceleration. I don't think it's going to be too aggressive, but we should see a little bit of acceleration. Again, it is Sunday. Markets are quite slow. But I think going into the first week, possibly second week of April, we might start to see a little bit more risk on, because at the moment the general market is quite sluggish still. Even though we're seeing some decent movement to the upside, it's been nice, it's been steady, it's been grinding. There's still a sluggishness to it. It's not. I think the best way to describe it is sometimes when you're when you're sitting in something and you're just like, this is really moving. Yeah, this is going, it's pushing, it's really sort of off it goes. When something's moving, right? And really going. The general market isn't really doing that. Yeah, when you're watching Bitcoin, or you're studying Bitcoin or Ethereum or Binance or some of these big ones, Litecoin and so on, You're not getting that feeling that there's some real sentiment behind it, that there's some real movement behind it, right, or momentum. It's just kind of grinding in this sort of sluggish nature. So because of that, this is the reason why, although I'm not as cautious as I was before, I'm still a little bit not. I still don't trust what I'm seeing as much as I would if I felt, yes, the market's really starting to gain some legs at the moment. So as always, I'm just watching, I'm being patient. You guys know that right down here was where I was looking. I got the 323, which I was happy with, or just under 324. So, for me, I'm happy with that particular ad. Obviously, up here, I'm quite happy to be sitting on this and chilling. But in the end, once it hits 460, for me, that's kind of the cutoff. After 460, I have to go through this entire process again. Yeah, and as a trader, predominantly a trader in terms of the way that I think, once an objective has been achieved for me personally in my investing or trading, and the reason I said investing and trading is, and this is kind of like the way that I think, whether I'm investing or trading, I still think like a trader. Yeah. So once I get to where I want to be and say a target's hit, everything's reset for me. So I have to start the whole process again. Then I have to start planning the next trade, ad, investment, whatever, right? That's absolutely key what I've just said. Really think about what I've just said. Once an objective has been hit, as a trader, the way that I think, I start the whole process again, and then I start planning my next trade, ad, and so on. I don't just haphazardly say, okay, now it's hit 460. I'm just going to wait for any old pullback and just add any old pullback. No, I have to plan. You guys saw I waited so long for price to get here. I can't even remember how many videos I did before price came down here. And I did nothing. I just waited and waited and waited and waited. And I'll do that whole thing again. So I'll be doing videos and keeping you guys up to date anyway. So that's the kind of general market just based on Bitcoin and Binance. In terms of Binance, in terms of Ethereum, these are the levels that I have been paying attention to. So just keep an eye on those. I won't go too much into this, but basically I did post a tweet about this. I am liking the way this is moving. So Ethereum's acting a little bit outside the box, I'll say. All right. And I'm going to leave it at that. So with that said, guys, I hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day or evening wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to catching up with you in the next update. All the best. Take care. And stay crypto positive, guys.